Hello, I'm David Groninger here in Seattle, Washington, and the title of this talk, it's called Cent-a-ment-al Success. And I got the idea from the story, The Sentimental Journey, and so I decided I'd write an article called Cent-a-ment-al Success. And but the sentimental is spelled a little bit differently, and I'm going to show you why it is. I have this that I typed up here. Notice that the sentimental is spelled with a C, not with the S. And the reason is because the cent stands for 100 and the ment stands for mentor. So it's Cent-a-ment-al Success. It is a success system that is based on having 100 mentors. So you determine some specific thing that you'd like to really become successful at. A vision, a goal, an ambition, a way of being, or it could be a simple thing like a hobby, whatever it might be. And but something that perhaps you want to spend a lifetime in becoming better at, in becoming more effective in. So the idea is, in Cent-a-ment-al Success, 100 mentors. Cent meaning 100 and ment standing for mentor. Cent-a-ment-al, 100 mentors success system. One way to look at success, by the way, it comes from the word which means following, like a successive people following after the other, or successive items. So the word success originally comes from a word meaning following. So if you look at your success in this way, that you'll be creating a vision, an ambition, an idea, an objective, a goal, a standard, and you'll be following that goal. You'll be following in the direction toward your vision, or you'll be acting and behaving and living your life in a manner which is consistent with a particular state of being. So you're following a particular standard, following a particular direction. So when you think of success, think of something that you would like to have as a dream, an ambition, a vision, or a way of being. And it's something that you will follow. And you will use your 100 mentors in order to learn how you can follow your vision. There are two basic ideas I'm going to give in this talk. And this is one of them, the idea of having 100 mentors. And I'm going to show you that it's not very excessive at all. It may sound like an impossible, ridiculously large number of mentors. You only need one. No, I'm going to show you how effective it is to have 100. But so the one idea is the 100 mentors. And the other idea is to unlimit your belief that 100 is too many. I'm going to unlimit your expectation, your vision, unlimit your idea of what your capacity is to experience abundance, success, or whatever it is in life that you would like. And that is so there's two ideas here. One, to have 100 mentors that are going to help you follow your dream, the success as you have defined it. Then the other idea is to open the door to many, many possibilities. Open the door to a much broader horizon of possibilities for yourself. So those are the two ideas. 100 mentors and opening the door far, far wider than you ever believed possible in what is possible for you in how you experience your life. So those are the two things. Now, 100 mentors is not too much, really. In fact, I have in this cup 100 pennies, and I'm pouring them out. I don't know if you can see it from the camera there, but I just poured out 100 pennies. Now, that's not very many. And that's basically, if you had 100 mentors, that's all it would be. Now, if it took you even once a month, or one mentor to find each month, it would take you something like 8 years to get your 100 mentors. But if your dream, your vision, whatever it is you want to accomplish is a lifetime ambition, 8 years is not very long in order to put together a success team of such strength, of such focus, and of such synergy that it'll literally be like, you'll be like being carried on the shoulders of giants to, you know, whatever level of success you'd like. And it can be certainly easy, it can be fun, and you do not have to overwork. So, Cent-a-ment-al Success, 100 mentors, and success as you define it to be. And you're following a vision, following a state of being, and you're using mentors as teachers, as people that you can work under, people you can apprentice with. You're using mentors to help you get to follow your vision. And it's interesting to have this many perspectives, because although each of these mentors has a lot of information and experience in a given area, that is the same area that you want to be more successful in, they each come from a slightly different angle. So you're going to get the same kind of information, but different perspectives. The value that this is going to give to you is that you're never going to run out of ideas in how to get to where you want to go. You're never going to run out of new possibilities. You'll always have different perspectives, different ways of looking at the road ahead of you. By the way, I sometimes think of the, you know, back in the olden days when the world used to be flat, before 1492, when Columbus came over to America. And when you think about how many miles, you know, ships actually sailed before 1492, for thousands of years in the Mediterranean Sea. I mean, going back and forth from one end of the Mediterranean Sea to the other end, a number of times, is far more than going just one time from Portugal to America. So the amount of miles that these ships sailed was vast. I mean, they went around the earth thousands, millions of times, in a sense, in terms of how far they sailed. But they never came to America. It was just back and forth in these small areas. So the limitation was in the mind. The fear that the ocean went forever, that they'd run out of food or water, or that the earth was flat and they would drop off and go into oblivion. The limitation was in the mind. So I'm suggesting also, in the same way that the world used to be flat but now it's round, in the same way that these ancient shipfarers or mariners went far, they spent much more time in their activity than would have taken to go from Portugal to America, going back and forth in the Mediterranean, the Baltic Sea, and in all these places. In the same way, a person can spend far more activity in life than it takes to find the 100 mentors. And again, it is a mental journey. It's a mental journey in your belief in what you can experience, in your belief that you really can manage the time that you spend with these people, and that you really can manage the information and the training and the expertise that you learn. And you can manage the way you put this information into use in an organized, methodical way, so that you're measuring your results and seeing that you really are getting to where you want to go. So the idea is taking on one mentor at a time. Decide something you'd like to accomplish, find somebody who's more experienced in this than you are, and create a win-win relationship. And I mean not just a 50-50 win-win, I mean 60-40. By 60-40, I mean you pull a little bit more of the weight than the other guy. You give a little bit more than you expect back. And you always have something to give because you have insights and ideas. You have a unique experiences that your mentor does not have. Furthermore, you can find out what his or her needs and ambitions are, and maybe in your own travels find other people that can be of support and help to your mentor. So you have something to offer to each of your mentors. Well, after you find one mentor, you work with this person, you keep a journal, you keep notes on what you're doing, and I would say keep your notebook in two different sections. One, the information, the data, the details, and the other section of your notebook is the actions, the practical steps you're going to be taking, the keeping a record of your accomplishments, a way to measure your results, so you can get back with your mentor and say, okay, this is what actually got done. And based on this kind of work that was done, your mentor can help you find better ways, quicker ways, more effective ways, less stressful ways of getting to where you want to go. So each of your, with each of your mentors, you'll keep a journal, and you'll keep basically two sections: information and records of your action and plans for your action. And there's a little a three-step process called plan, do, and review. And I borrow this from the writer Jim Rohn, who has talked a lot about this. It's called plan, do, review. Plan, you're working out how you're going to do something. Do, that's the action step, the action steps. And review, you're working with your mentor saying, okay, this is what we did, this is what I did, and this is what got done. This is the information I put to use, and these are the results I got. What do you think of this? Could I have done it better, etc.? And every time you review it, then you make a new plan. You put in a slightly improved set of actions, then you review that. So with each cycle through of plan, do, and review, you can become more effective, more efficient, and it can become easier, and you can get better results. So one idea I'm going to offer is called the island becomes the sea. And it's like this: before you have any mentors, and it's just you with an ambition and something you'd like to accomplish, when you look out toward life, it might look like you're on a lonely island, and you're the only person on it, and everything else is the ocean, and there's nobody to help you, and you wonder how you're going to get there. This can sometimes happen, but as soon as you find just one mentor, it's like looking out at another island. So although there's water between you, you're not stuck on seeing just the water. You're looking at the island, and you see a little bit less of the water. Well, the more mentors you have, the more islands you see, and pretty soon the island becomes like the ocean. It's like the island becomes the sea. What used to be just a limitation of your of resources is now an abundance of resources. The island becomes the sea. For example, if you lived in San Francisco, California, and you have a mentor in Toledo, Ohio, that's 2,000 miles, you're not concerned with the freeways and the farms and all the space and the telephone wires and whatever that's between San Francisco and Toledo. You're concerned with the person at the other end of the line that you're talking with on the phone or in your video conferencing or whatever, and you're seeing the mentor. Well, you can have mentors in different cities, and all you're seeing is the mentors. You're not concerned with the space in between. But those who do not have anybody to help them and are doing everything all by themselves, sometimes it looks like they're on a lonely island and they're the only person, and it seems like an endless space between the next step or between the ultimate objective or between anybody who could really help them get to where they want to go. So start with one mentor at a time, and as you build competence and get some results, then you go with the second mentor while continuing with the first one, and you keep adding them this way, and you use your journal, taking notes on the details, the information, and the action steps you're going to do, and you meet with these mentors, review the action steps, and you keep getting better and better. So the island becomes the sea. You have 100 mentors. If it sounds excessive, think about the word success, and just think there's a little bit of excess in success, you know, the sound of the word. And if you manage the excess in terms of balance, it's not really like excess. It's like when you have a computer that has millions of bits of information. If you have them stored in neat files, it's not like excessive information. But you could have just 1% of that information with all kinds of papers mixed up around your desk or around your office or home, and be more confused and be spinning your wheels more and be spending more time in the management and trying to apply this information. You could be spending more time with 1% than you are with having the 100%. So when you have 100 mentors, you can organize your time, you can manage your time. In fact, having the 100 mentors is going to offer you a very wonderful serendipity. It's going to allow you to learn more about how to manage your time and how to manage information and how to manage your instructions and your skills. And this kind of management of your time and management of information is going to carry over into other parts of life. So if you accept this mission of accumulating 100 mentors, it's going to have a lot of positive effects in many areas of your life. So that's the idea. Have 100 mentors, 100 people who can help you get where you want to go, and with each person you're going to have a win-win relationship, and it's going to be a 60-40. You're going to do more than your share. That's what really works. And you're going to build it one at a time. You're going to manage your time well, and you're going to manage these relationships very well. One other idea is to join these mentors together. As you meet them, link the ones together who have similar interests or who have complementary types of skills, those who are lacking certain skills that others have who can help each other. It's like Napoleon Hill talks about in his book, Think and Grow Rich, and also in one of my Bibles for Success, The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. He talks about the mastermind group, the mastermind. And it's just a group of people, it's like a team, teamwork, where they all want to go somewhere, or you want to go somewhere, want to do something, and you have people who have the skills, the knowledge, the know-how, the expertise that you lack. And you're drawing on the wisdom, the expertise of other people, and they are drawing on your expertise. And each person benefits at the same level that the whole group benefits. So it's a very empowering kind of way of progressing toward any goal or ambition in life. It's a lot easier, it's fun, you make a lot of friends, and well, it's just plain exciting and adventurous. Well, this concludes my talk that's called Cent-a-ment-al Success. And again, as a review, I want to show you this, the word Cent-a-ment-al Success. And again, the cent stands for 100. The ment stands for mentor. And success, think of the root meaning, which is following, which is that you are selecting a dream, a goal, an ambition, a state of being, whatever it is, and you're following that dream. And you're using the mentors to learn from, and you're communicating with them very specifically what your dream or goal is, so that they are teaching you from their vast store of knowledge and skills and experience just what you need just for you to get to your dream, just so that you can follow your vision. And remember, unlimit your expectations and belief in what you are capable of. Remember, you can do a lot more, you can get a lot more results than you think. Your capacity to experience success, happiness, well-being is very, very vast. And think about the ancient mariners who sailed on their ships back and forth in the Mediterranean Sea. And if you added up how many miles they went back and forth for thousands of years, they went around the globe many, many, many times. It could have been easy for them to get from Portugal to America like Christopher Columbus did in 1492. But yet for thousands of years, they could not do that. They could not accomplish the physical feat, not because there was a physical limitation, but because there was a mental limitation. So I invite you to open up the door open up the mental door, the door of imagination, the door of possibilities. Open up your mind, open up your thinking, open up your imagination to many, many great possibilities. And one of these possibilities is the realistic aspect of really having 100 mentors. You don't have to have 100 mentors. You can have just one. You can have 3 or 4. But I'm telling you that you can create a team of 100 mentors. You can work with these people, you can connect them together and allow them to have a greater synergy in their own success, which is only going to reflect back to you in more help to you. Think about how many friends you have. Most people could list 100 people that they know. Well, just add another 100 people, that's all. Only very carefully selected people. You're going to basically get to your goal as though you were standing on the shoulders of giants, being carried there like on a magic carpet. And you consider, for example, you know, the last 4th of July barbecue you went on, or the Thanksgiving dinner you went to, or the Christmas party that you went to. You know, there might have been 10, 20, 30 people there. Well, go to the events where your mentors are. If some of your mentors are local, invite them over to your Thanksgiving dinner. Invite them to your Labor Day barbecue or your Memorial Day or 4th of July party or barbecue. And include them in your actions. Like if you work out and play racquetball 3 times a week, or go jogging, or play tennis, or take a walk in the park, do it with your mentors. The things that you would normally do anyway, do it with your mentors. You're going to learn twice as fast, even if the topic of your major goal is not the thing being discussed. You're going to learn in the way they react to life, in the way they respond to other people. You're going to pick up a lot of the basic paradigms that they have in what has allowed them to have some success in whatever dream, goal, business idea, whatever it is that you want. So again, there are 2 topics that I've discussed here. Sentimental success means having 100 mentors, and success, you define what happiness, well-being, and what success is for you, so that you can follow that vision, or follow that, have your actions consistent with that way of being. So sentimental success is 100 mentors for your success. Then the other idea is to open up your vision, open up your landscape, open up your horizon to a far, far more capacity to experience life. And you will find that having 100 mentors is actually an easy thing to do. Do it just one at a time. Create win-win relationships. Put in the action steps in the simple things that you're taught. And as you do this, you'll see the simplicity. You'll start understanding the fundamentals, the basics, the principles that are the foundations for the success in whatever your dream is, whether it's a financial objective, building a business, starting an organization, raising a family, growing a tomato garden, losing 20 pounds. Whatever your vision is, it's okay, even on a small thing that might just be a frivolous hobby. It's still very, very interesting to accumulate 100 mentors, because you will learn so much about how to do this thing, which will be transferable to your other areas of life. You'll pick up a lot of skills, particularly the skills in personal relationships as you're building them with your mentors. Personal relationship skills that are now transferable to every area of life in your personal relationships. So I hope you've enjoyed this talk called Sentimental Success, which means 100 mentors to help you get to the vision that you have decided upon, and the idea of unlimiting your capacity to experience life in a fun, joyful, very rich way, at a pace of joy, at a pace of happiness, at a pace of growth that works very, very well for you. This is David Groninger in Seattle saying thank you very much.